Good morning, Darvas Box fans. This is modified Darvas Box MDB, and it's the first weekend review video of 2024. Yay! Wanted to do this. Sit down here on Saturday. It's January 6th, 11:34 a.m. in Florida, where it's warm. Don't move here; it's too crowded. But yeah, so I wanted to get in and do the first video of the new year, and let's get into it. For anybody who's never watched one of my videos, I simply created my own unique investing system based on the book "How I Made $2 Million in the Market" by Nicholas Darvas. I think it's an investing classic. It's, in my opinion, one of the best investing books ever written. So take a look and go buy it on Amazon and read it. What I do is I'm looking here at the right side, and I'm looking for trading signals, well, buy or sell signals, and I put colors on my charts to help identify signals that we can trade on. So I like to whip through the charts fast. I've got a couple other things to show you on Excel sheets down here. So normally I'm targeting 30 minutes, but maybe this will be a few minutes extra. All right, let's get into it. So this week we had a sell-off, and which in hindsight was the easiest thing to see coming because everything was so elevated on the 2 weeks over Christmas. But now we got to see what the heck is going on and what should we do about it, if anything. All right, so a first chart here. I keep my stocks organized into 6 lists here on the side. So let's start as always with indexes. This is the AMZ. It's for MLPs and income producing securities. Good for income portfolios. I own some of them. Can see it's starting to go sideways, formed a box range, still above my weekly moving average. So yeah, it looks fine to me. ARC, yeah, here's that sell-off right here. Kathy Wood, I always make fun of Kathy Wood, but because I think she had her moment in the sun, and now she's going to be a footnote in history. But we can see here the rally of the last several weeks, and now this week right here was the sort of topping signal, and that's what you need to do. You need to learn how to read chart bars and, to interpret what's going on. This here is an inverse hammer, or what I call a shooter bar, and you basically draw a line underneath, and if it cracks below it, that's your signal to sell. And, it gapped here, so probably you'd have been selling the gap right away. Or if you're skeptical, maybe you sold it down here. But either way, selling at the moment was the right call. Now, some people could draw a trend line here and trade off a trend line. I don't really do that because trend lines are subjective, in my opinion. They're always being moved. This is what happens when somebody draws a trend line. They go like this, and then they miss it, and then it has this big gap down, and then they go, well, let's just adjust the trend line right here. Yeah, there's my new trend line. I mean, come on. What you want to do in investing is be repeatable and consistent, which is like saying the same thing. But you want it to be a consistent way every time, and also consistent on every chart. That's why I prefer boxes or rectangles. You can call them bases. And I try to keep the subjective stuff out. The trend line's here. No, now the trend line's here. I don't know what to do with that. How do you build a system based on moving trend lines around? Like, come on, give me a break. So be as consistent and universal as you can. All right, oil. Oil's going sideways. This here is also looking like a shooter bar, but, we'll see what happens. But it's also above this weekly. So there's no panic here in oil, but it's like, okay, well, the bulls tried to push it up, and the bears pushed it back down. We'll see if that's actually a valid signal, because, you can see a signal forming, And then the key to it is the reaction. Because like here on this chart, see these colors? The blues mean something, the pinks mean something, the grays mean something. This here is a white bar sell signal. That's what I have coded on special formulas. Well, look at the reaction. The reaction the next week, it's a bearish bar, so you'd expect it to sell downwards. No, what happened? The market said, thank you so much. Boom, we're gonna buy the crap out of it. And it then went on a tear. So signal, and then what's the reaction to the signal? Wow, the reaction was completely opposite of what you expected. Make note of that. If you get a bullish reaction off a bearish signal, that means something's changed. And also vice versa. You get a bullish signal and then a bearish reaction, well, you better take note of that. So this is the NASDAQ. You can see it had a box breakout right here with the volume in the right place, but now it's had a pullback. It's still above the box level, so technically this is still an uptrend, in my opinion. That's how I read it. We're in an uptrend, but it's pulled back, so the uptrend is a lot more muted. But until it breaks farther downwards, it's still an uptrend. Until it breaks that line or so, it's still in an uptrend, even if it's a 1 mile per hour uptrend. Okay, Ethereum, there's a signal right there. Shooter bar, you see how it's color coded? And it triggered that line there. It went down and triggered it. Aha, but the bulls in Ethereum said, no, this is actually a great deal. We want it. And they bought it back up. Now, if you're trading off that signal, you got to be aware that that could happen. And maybe you don't trade off the signal. Maybe you say, I'm so bullish on it, I'm not going to take the signal. Or if you took the signal, you took it, and then immediately, this trade isn't working. We better bail out. Maybe it's time to go back bullish again. So signal and reaction to signal are two separate entities. Keep that in mind when you see a signal. The signal has to confirm. Right here, FFTY, this is a proxy for growth stocks. This gray here is an inside weak bar. And, well, the inside weak resolved to the downside right there. And it could have resolved to the upside. But nope, resolved to the downside. So, that's in line with the sell-off that we just had. No big deal, it happens. But if you owned it, you might have taken it a lot more seriously. I don't own that. It's just watching it. Here's China. I love Trump. Here we go. GBTC, Bitcoin. I own this. See, it's been moving up nicely. We had an inside week there, and look what it did. It did not even trigger a lower edge signal, but it did trigger an upper edge signal. Man, Bitcoin is just bullish. So, stay long. You saw a signal, doesn't mean you have to trade it. You just have to be prepped and ready for it, just in case. Still bullish, still making money. So, yeah, I'm long about 22. So, that's a very nice gain. Gold, yeah. See, that's a inverse hammer bar right here. Signal, what did it do? The reaction, yeah, it sold off. I own some gold, but I've been reducing it. High yield bonds. This is actually going to see a lot of this in the charts. Signal here, and then the last week of 2023 gave signals that this was going to happen in the first week. It kept saying shooter bar, again and again and again. Well, that's why I was expecting a sell-off, and I kept warning that, or trying to warn it, get people to think about that, like on the sentiment and everything. So, and then it happens, and people call me, I got friends who say, you nailed it again, you're a genius. Well, I'm not a super genius, but I read charts better than most people. And we're looking to see if there's any good reactions on these ones here. Let's see. Man, I'm wasting time already. IWM, look at that. This is a box violation. It had a box breakout. Oh, box breakout right here. See the volume? Up. Ooh, shooter bar right here. Big sell-off. This this breakout has been totally negated. So IWM is back to being basically a loser. I don't even look at it. This is interesting. Healthcare, look at that. It kept going up. Did healthcare sell off? No. Man, insurance companies are probably raising all our healthcare rates again. Bastards. But healthcare stocks look very bullish. Transports, yeah, they pulled back in. NASDAQ equal weight. NASDAQ equal weight looks better than the NASDAQ. Fizz, this is the gold. I own some of this. I sold some of it in here based on that signal. I reduced, but I don't know. I may be wasting my time on that one, but we'll see. I'm up a smidge, but nothing you can retire on, that's for sure. QQQs, yeah, going up. No signals, no formations. RSP, bonds. And you see how I can whip through charts? Just whip through them. You're looking for specific signals. Here's some of the sentiment. T2106, McClellan oscillator. Yeah, look at that. Gone from highs down to lows. So sentiment's improving, but you need charts to improve here. T2107, not much of a drop. T2108, yeah, look at that. Hit these high levels, now pulled back. But as we know, sentiment can go a lot lower. So it's in the early stages. TAN, nothing there. TLT starting to come down a little bit. Interesting. Bond rates going back up. Uranium bros, I'm sorry. This here is a box breakdown, but volume's low, so you're still positive because you got the weekly moving average still moving up. VIX, anything glaring. Any really good trade ideas will stick out like a sore thumb. They will, or a flashlight in a dark room. They'll be obvious. So, like anything middling, might not be a very good trade. But if you get a really strong signal, go for it. All right, let's look at list 2, which is the top stocks based on the way they broke out. Like here we have on AMD a box breakout right here, and also a yellow bar buy signal. That's a pretty good signal, pretty good start. And people who bought that have been rewarded. I didn't buy it. I was just tied up. I didn't have enough money. But it's done really nicely, and even though it's sold off this week, there's nothing wrong with this. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. If you're long AMD, any point below 132, you should be sitting and holding, in my opinion. What is this? ANET. Yep, look at that. Uptrend. This is how you just got to sit through some of the bad days. And if you understand the context of a trend, you can sit and not be frightened at all. And you can stay the course, and then when the price recovers, you haven't sold, and you're in a much better, stronger position, and you're not having forced to always be buying new stuff at more risky spots. Right here. Now here's one. This one should not be in this list at this point. Carvana. So there's a box breakout. I noted it on the last one. A controversial box breakout, yet it's also a shooter bar, which is bearish. A bullish and a bearish at the same time. Great. Then you had, let's get a circle. Then you had an inside week right here. And then the inside week resolved lower. It also negated the breakout. So everybody got all excited about it. But whoops, the market said nope. And let's move this down to, we'll drop it to one box. Because it still could break out again. Dash, I own Dash. It's come down into it. But it's still above the moving average. It's still above the box level. So I'm sitting in it. I lost some profit, but I don't want to sell it because then I'd have to buy it up here, and there's no signals up here telling me currently where to buy it again. So sit. I may have reduced profit, but I still have a profit, and maybe it improves in the future. The other thing with Dash, which I like, you see you got big green volume bars here. Now this one right here is sort of a halfway bar. Big volume on a halfway bar implies big demand, but that there's big sellers hitting the demand. So some people punched out big right there, but in comparison to history, it's not the biggest bar that's ever lived. So another reason why it's like, well, it's not so bad. But others had that, and I did sell like Uber, and I'll show you Uber here in a second. This one right here, box breakout, sort of futzed around, moved up, and now gave it all back. How pissed? How pissed are all the buyers of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks? I would be furious because the only way anybody has made money in the stock is if they bought it down here where there was no signals. And then you had the big gap up here, and now everybody who bought the gap up is, well, they're either got a loss or they're on the verge of losses. I would be so upset. That's why I don't like to buy the episodic pivot, which this is sometimes called, because many times they don't work out. And then you're stuck having wasted time, and now you're hoping and praying. And if you're ever talking to God about a trade, man, sell it. Because God does not care about money. God will use money, but God doesn't care about it. Please, God, please, please. Nope. The answer is always no. Let's see. Elf. I own Elf. Now, Elf violated the top of the box here, but then it recovered. Now, the question might be, well, why didn't you sell and take some profits here? Well, because of my position, I was buying down here in the 90s. So I'm not that worried about it. And it's still got a potential uptrend. There hasn't been any big red volume down here to indicate. Like if this had a big red volume bar here, yeah, then I'd be very concerned. But this is just a mild pullback. It did have a signal inside week here, but you know, I just felt no, it had just had a box breakout, so why do I want to sell it? But some people might have, you know, book the trade, move on. But I like it for the long term. And I'll show you another reason why you should like it to build conviction. If you look at their numbers, let's see if it pulls up the numbers. See, right here, EPS and percent change, up 100, up 223, up 182, up 128. Up sales, up 76, up 76, why on earth should I sell it with these kinds of numbers? That's like shooting yourself in the knees and then registering to run a marathon. I mean, come on, man. So that's how you got to balance the view on this. ESTC, another huge gap up, which now everybody who bought it is underwater, or they got stopped out. But it's still bullish, but just horrible buying spots. There were no good buying spots. Ethereum, we know about that. We know about that. Geo, oh, that's a pretty good reaction right here. Had an inside week, but then didn't really do anything. That's a bullish one. Google with a box breakout here and then a clear box breakout failure. Pulled back in. It does not deserve to be on this list. It's still relatively bullish, but we're going to move it. This one right here, bullish, pull back, but still bullish. This one, I own this one. I bought it back here in August. ML, look at that. Still going up, an inside week, but I'm not selling. Even if it triggers, I'm not selling it because it's got all this space here where it could easily pull back. But look at that moving average. It's really beginning to turn higher. I'm very bullish on that one. Uh, Path, I never liked this one. I talked about how it could pull back to this area in the circle. And so far it looks like it's heading there. We'll see. Rambus, This is going to be a box soon, but it hasn't formed yet, so it stays on this list. Snow, yeah, that's still bullish. Pull back, but bullish. The Stinger, that's going an uptrend. You know, world events are helping to push this one out. That's a shipping company. Here's one which I sold, Uber, and the reason I sold it was for a volume-based reason. See the volume right here? Let's circle it. How big is that volume bar? Well, holy smokes, it's the biggest volume bar in Uber's history. Biggest volume bar in Uber's history, right here, and that's a midpoint bar. That means there were big sellers. There was demand. Buyers were stepping in saying, we want Uber big time. And sellers said, okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give you all you want. So that made me sit up and take notice and be like, holy smokes, it's the biggest volume of its entire history. Why do they want to bail out? If Uber is going to do so well in the future, why are big investors letting hundreds of millions of shares go? Because see, that's what's implied by a midpoint there. So I noticed it. I didn't trade off of it. I then noticed the inside week market signaling. But, you know, the next week it didn't trigger, but it formed sort of a mild shooter bar. So I left the trigger zone here. It triggered on the gap down this week, and I sold it. So that's how you interpret charts and make a successful trade. I bought in here just shy of 50, sold right about a little up 60, $10 profit. Boom, move on. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. And that's $50, $10, that's 20%. Book it. Book it, move on. And again, some could argue, well, this is still bullish. The weekly moving average is up here. But to me, the compelling argument is this giant volume. Why did the sellers want to bail? What do they know that I don't know? So, and you know what? If Uber keeps going up, well then, in my face, then it's my bad and all that. But I made money. The key is if we're going to trade and invest, don't lose money. If you make money, pat yourself on the back and move on. Even if you made money for all the wrong reasons. Make money first and foremost. All right, I've been spending a lot of time yakking. Let's get through charts here. See if there's anything important. You guys know what's coming. Lots of pullbacks. So this one's actually developing kind of there. No signals up in there. AOI, Apple. Look at that. White bar sell signal. There was an inside week, but this needs to get moved to bearish. That is a bearish signal. Goodbye. This one pulled back. And this one's so easy to bet against it. You see that? That's a shooter bar. Albeit volume's not low, but that's an easy, quick trade. So easy. AMR doing fantastic. This was also an easy signal. They stand out. Hammer bar, which is the same color as the shooter. Just circle it. There's the trigger line. If you bought it, you're up. I did not buy it, but if you bought it, $230, you're up $130. When was the last time you had a trade go up 130 points and climbing? Amazon, there's your inside weak signal, pull back, but nothing crazy. There we go. Here's the one I bet against. Coin. Oh, I didn't put my trade, my short circle on it. Crystal clear shooter bar, crystal clear signal. If you're going to bet against it, you prepare yourself over the weekend. Easy to put a trigger in there, put an order. Boom, as soon as it hit, it triggered. And I'm up about 16, 17 points on this trade. And I feel that this one, even though Bitcoin's going up, that doesn't mean coin should always go up, in my opinion. So I'm still short coin, and we'll see what happens. I'm sort of jaded on it too because I bought it back in here, and it went up great, and then did nothing but pull back. You see, I sold right in here. Where was my buy? My buy was right in here. My buy was somewhere like right there. Because you see the yellow bar buy signal. So when zooming up, I'm feeling great. And then all it did was sell down, sell down. No, I think I bought it like somewhere right in there. So anyways, trade by color. Got signals, make money here. Oh yeah, there it is, right there. It was more on the yellow signal. But you see, you get signals. Let's open that up. I don't know why it's doing that. But a signal, take action, and I was able to plan this trade during a weekend. So let's hope it keeps going. Yeah, there's that one. We know about that. The Dogger. This one up here, Dell. Looks good. DKNG broke its box here. Breakout here, yellow bar buy signal, comes up, starts pulling back, and now it can't seem to get a bid, and it's pulled back all the way back to the breakout level. What a joke. Personally, I'm against gambling companies. I think they're bad for society. But yeah, if I had bought it thinking it's the greatest thing ever, I am pissed off. It's come all the way back. What a waste of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks. You wasted 10 weeks of that. Oh, this here is a clear box breakdown on IoT. Now, it's still sort of bullish above the weekly, but I will move this into box breakdowns. And actually, DKNG should go in there also. No, it can't. It's not a fully formed box. Per my rules, I'll do it more like that. But either way, Google's actually a failure, but I'll leave it in, I'll put it here in bearish. MDB, that's a failure. See how the box, you closed it off? And look, it gave all these weird signals. You had a box breakout in here, and then a giant failure on this red volume bar. Buyers came in saying, no, it's not supposed to happen. Well, the market knows better. And if you interpret it correctly, you know that a big bar here followed by this one doesn't imply that it's going to keep going up. Then a shooter bar here, and then finally a dump. So because it's a very clear failure, I'm going to move this one out. Monday, I own this one. Still long, still hopeful on it. This one right here, uptrend. Netflix, I own Netflix. Sort of a soft box breakout, but missing volume. A signal here. I did not take the signal because I like Netflix for the future. And it's doing okay. Nothing profitable, but I'd like it to go higher. Okay, here's the thing that signals are not always guaranteed. Rivian with a yellow bar buy signal. Well, it gets really excited and then barfs it all up right here because it's just not that great. There's no box structure for it to be a box breakout, so it's just a signal, and you need a good market or situation to help push the signal. So should we keep it in this list? No. We'll put it into the bearish. Well, I might have put it in a different one, but I'm not really interested in it anyways. Shop. Oh, that looks actually not bad. signal here, but a nice, almost a hammer pattern. So if shop keeps going up next week, this actually could be a bullish signal right here. Would have been better if there was more volume. The signal is if you're not in shop, buy it if it goes above that trigger, above there. And you know what? I'm going to take a closer look at that this weekend because maybe we should be buying it. No signals. All right, let's go to the bearish signal list. Again, Apple moved there. That is a white bar sell signal. That's bearish. It's funny, I bought an Apple Watch for my Christmas present, and yet it goes down. Shocking. CCJ, there's a pink bar signal. Gets selling volume, comes down. Logical. That one, no. Tesla. I've got this from way back here. White bar sell signal, and Tesla's never really done anything since then. Even the Tesla bulls, oh, it's doing great. Look at that. The top of the white bar sell signal, price came back, but it didn't really, you didn't have a close above it, which says that this white bar sell signal is still in command of the chart from this point forward. So you better respect it. And honestly, I would be, well, there's no reason to own Tesla in here. So, but it's still going sideways. But anybody who goes raving about how bullish it is right now, yeah, you're wrong. Here we go. Upstart. I'm short this one as well. And you see clear signals. I'll move this so you can see it. A shooter bar right there. Line trigger, easy short, and, you know, bank error in your favor. Collect 200. Pass go. Collect 200. If you can read and interpret charts correctly, man, the world just opens up to you, in my opinion. Okay, list 5, box breakdowns. These are ones which I want to avoid. Maybe I want to keep an eye on, but, you know, I'm not going to trade them long, but it's sort of like stashing them. Also, it helps ensure I don't trade them, or I look at them with a skeptical eye. You can see this one, it was a darling in its uptrend, and now, yeah, that uptrend's over. And look where it went over. White bar sell signal hasn't been the same since, and honestly, it looks like it's going lower. AI. This is interesting. White bar sell signal followed by a bullish yellow bar signal. That's kind of interesting. But since then, it's sort of done nothing and just dragged down. But we'll keep an eye on it just in case. This one, white bar sell signal. Bullish yellow bar is the bulls go, no. But the weight of the market, look at that, yanking it down. Who's in charge on this one? The bears are in charge of this chart. So that's an avoid. Avoid. Sell H. That's a decent little comeback. But I'm just not interested in this one. Plus, again, you got this big, giant white bar signal. Can sell H really... Like we saw this with Tesla. It may rebound to the top here, but look who's still in control. Bulls haven't been able to put it with a close above the white bar. So until they do, the sellers from this white bar are still in control. Chevron, that's a big oil company. Let's see anything else that's in here that looks interesting. Oh, no, there's that one. There's that one. We know about that. Yeah, Oracle. This will eventually go down lower, I think. Oop. Eventually go down lower. Again, you're looking for signals and then reaction to signals. Ugh, this one. Inside weak, resolution to the downside. Nope, bearish. Nothing but red cells. I should stop watching this stock, honestly. All right, last list, and then we can wrap. Oh, I'll show you two other things, and then we'll wrap. I'm going over a little bit, but I warned you. I warned you all. This is going to be a little longer. Airbnb. Again, I'm just looking if anything sticks out. Look at this. On APP, box breakout here. Next week, failure. This one, attempted breakout, failure. It just does not want to go higher than 43. The question is it going to go sideways between 38 and 43? Or are they eventually going to sell it back down? I don't know. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Berkshire. This is actually good for America. If Berkshire Hathaway is going up and threatening to do a breakout, that's good for mainstream America. Bros, this is my pick for the stock picking contest. I have no idea what it's going to do. I never read. I never win those contests. BTU, this coal's beginning to come around, but why would you buy BTU when you can get AMR? Like, come on, man. Confluent doing absolutely nothing. CGC, I noticed this one had the yellow bar signal there, so I put it to start tracking it. What did it do? The week right after, it did a belly flop. I think, even though I've got this on the list to watch, I don't think this is going to do anything except go lower. They might have to do another reverse split at some point to get the price back up. All right, anything else exciting? Nothing. Whoop, come on, where'd the boxes go? There we go. Is that it? Well, they disappeared on me on this one. All right, that's a glitch. Most of these don't have anything going on interesting anyways. Meta, oh, look at that. I've been reading how Zuckerberg has been selling lots of stock, but this doesn't look like it's doing anything bad. Facebook looks bullish to me. Microsoft going sideways in a box. Steel tried to break out, comes back in. NVIDIA. Oh, look at that. I mean, NVIDIA's not breaking out? Oh, shocking. Man, everybody's talking so bullish. Pandemia. Oh, look at this. PLTR, big fat whale. I like the company, but it's got 2 billion shares outstanding. It's just impossible to make a stock with 2 billion shares go up meaningfully. So what does this look like? Yeah, it looks like a box breakdown. So sorry. Roblox. Here's the trend line drawers. The trend line's here, but I thought the trend line was here. I don't know. It's so inconsistent. I don't even use trend lines. Don't even bother with them, in my opinion. SMCI. This one looks like it's developing. Volume's beginning to come down a bit. I don't see a signal in here. Do we have any signals on the daily? Oh, we do have a signal on the daily, but I much prefer weekly signals. Do we have a monthly signal? Let's take a look. Oh, the monthly is shaping up also. Put SMCI back on your lists. If you haven't had it, oopsie. If you didn't have this one on your list, put it back on your list. Because I don't see anything immediate buying, but this is shaping nicely. You got a nice sideways box. And it's always good when you see the sell-offs or volume dries up. Maybe we'll get some big green volume bars. SoFi, oh, oof, yuck. Barf. Square, yep, the trend line, guys. There's my trend line. But wait a minute, I missed the sell, so now I'm just going to move the trend line there. Now that's the trend line. And then If it sells down again, they'll move it to here, and they'll move it to here, and they'll move it to here, and then finally they'll blow out here. Again, it's just so inconsistent. Okay, so that's the end of the list. The things I want to show you, two things. One, the NAM. Where's the NAM? Here, NAM, sentiment, went from 102 to 70 or 71. That's a big, big drop. And several people, it's amazing how the brain will rationalize any situation. We can download the NAM numbers and look at them, and people were justifying, well, NAM can be above 100 for months and months with no problems. So you can download the file here. Let's take a look and see if that is actually true. Let's sort it. Oh, no, wait, I got to sort it here. Largest to smallest. So here's the NAM numbers all above 100. Let's color it yellow. So we see 2017, mostly COVID, 2020, 21, etc. The rest of history was 2017. And so only certain periods, both with Fed liquidity. Otherwise, it's not all over the place, so there's really no trend. Let's undo this. Sort. How did I do it? Oh, by date. Newest, oldest. So here's your occasions where NAM was above 100. It's amazing the kind of bullshit people spin to justify any situation. But that's how our brains rationalize. If we're being tortured, our brains can rationalize that we deserve it. No, we don't deserve it. But here's all those periods where NAM was above 100. Well, as we scroll back through history, I don't see all that many since then. Yeah, I'm going to say that that's not really a trend. So that's how you search for evidence, look for data. And now the last thing I want to wrap up with is S&P 500 earnings. Already got a new report dated January 4th. The numbers dropped. Yay. Average growth here, 12%. That's looking at these ones right here. It's only 4% reported, but okay, if estimates are dropping a little bit, and we know that PEs are 23 to 21. See, trailing PE, that's the current forward PE. 21 to 23. Does that justify an SPX at all-time highs? Well, maybe this red toppy line is going to stick for a while longer all this year. So, I don't know. But in my opinion, the S&P is not that good of a value at this juncture. And if it's not, maybe it's going to go sideways for a while, and maybe we'll see the next attempt at the highs on the S&P. Maybe it'll be an attempt here, and then maybe the next attempt will be here. And otherwise, it just goes sideways through here to here. Who knows? But that's how I'll make sort of a thesis on, gee, what might happen this year. So, but we'll see how things play out. Okay, well, I've gone way long over, so I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and hope you guys have a good weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.